Welcome, everyone. This is Recovery Dharma. My name is Julia. I'm one of the facilitators in this beautiful, beautiful community. And I would like to set the intention for our practice today. This is one that I haven't read very often, and I'm really excited that it came forward. This was painted by a wonderful Sangha member who sent me a picture, and then he knows that to send me pictures and paintings means that I'll chop them up into smaller pieces and write sentiments of metta on the back, loving kindness. This one reads, "May my worth be as I decide. May my worth be as I decide." Let's breathe that in. Just taking a deep breath, and let's highlight a couple of words from that sentiment of metta. Breathing in the idea of worth, and breathing out a sense of empowerment to decide, to make a decision. Breathing in a spirit of curiosity. What does worth mean? What is the story I'm telling myself about what it means to be worthy? What is a story I've been believing? Can I create some space around it to question it? Breathing out the spirit of empowerment and agency to do just that, to be curious, to create some space, a little bit of wonderment, and to maybe perhaps take a new step toward a new decision, a new story, a new direction. Breathing that in, breathing in curiosity, breathing out something new. Holy smokes, what a wonderful thing. That gives me kind of goosebumps. I love it. So let's take that into a deeper meditation, because for the month of December in the Spokane Sangha, we are practicing and exploring the 5 elements. This is actually a deep practice in the Buddhist tradition. It's called the Kataro Mahabhutani. And we're looking at earth, air, fire, water, the 4 elements that sustain and produce life, as well as the 5th element, which is considered to be ether or space, or what I call mystery. And one of the things to say about this in a gestalt kind of way, a whole kind of way, is to suggest and point to the science of cosmology that shows us how the universe and everything about the universe is the earth and all of its life. We are simply subatomic particles arranged in different ways, but we are all connected, each and every one of us, to everything connected to the universe. It's stardust, it's heat, it's space, it's dark matter. Everything has formed the building blocks of this earth, its primordial soup, the way that we've evolved from it, all the way to this moment. We have never, ever, ever been separated from the happenings in the universe since beginningless time. Mind-boggling, and one big giant mystery. We know a lot, and there's so much more to know. In fact, The knowing will always reach this point of the unfathomable. And that's why we have to create this spaciousness for the mystery, for the not knowing. So we know, and there's a whole lot of not knowing coexisting. And what's amazing to me is 26 years ago, without access to cosmology and physics, the science, the contemporary science that we know today, the Buddha knew this. The Buddha recognized that I am a no self. I am this conglomeration of all kinds of other things connected to the earth. Its clay matter is me. The waters that flow like veins along the earth are the same waters that flow in my veins. My tears are the sea. The fires that can destroy and bring new life are also symbolically and metaphorically the heat and fires of my own emotions that can destroy my life as well as create new life. The air that I breathe, the exchange of my breath with the trees, for example. We are kin, the trees and I. The growth of the earth that looks so different from me, and yet we are intimately connected, interconnected. We've never been separate. One of my favorite quotes from Thich Nhat Hanh is, "We are here to awaken from the illusion of our separateness." I love that. And one of the motivations that I have about bringing this forward is when I'm engaging myself, my stories, my regrets, my craving, my, me, I can get lost and limited and narrow and rigid. I can get petty and aggressive and hostile and antagonistic toward myself. And by extension, I can radiate that out into the world, this tight rigidity. Yeah, I'm feeling it already. I'm embodying it already. My shoulders are clumped in. I've got sort of a C shape in my spine, my gut souring just thinking about it. And the Buddha is here to say, "Oh, Julia, you silly goose. You're so much more than your I, me, my. Wake up." And the minute I hear that, wake up. There's so much more to you. I suddenly begin to relax. Oh, there's so much more to me. Ooh, my shoulders come down and open. My heart lifts. There's so much more to me. Take a deep breath. There's so much more to me. Maybe turn my gaze upward. Connect to the universe. There's so much more to me. Ah, I can breathe again because there's so much more than just my limiting narratives, than just the conditioning that I have adopted. There's so much more. Breathe that in, breathing in more, breathing out the unimaginable. Suddenly there's so much space. I'd like to invite you to breathe a mantra that is alive for you. And I've demonstrated a couple of options, several options really. But I'd like to invite your concentration, your wise concentration, to hone in on something that you've heard today. Some key words like worth. What's coming alive for you as you think about worth? Maybe it's an old story. Maybe that old story has the flavor of a piece of bazooka bubblegum chewed too long. And maybe you can breathe that in and on the exhale, spit it out, create a little space. Maybe you're breathing in the concept of worth, and maybe it's something new, a synonym, perhaps, for the word worth. What is that synonym for you? And maybe you can breathe out some spaciousness for that new idea to take root. Perhaps you're breathing in the word space. And in that vastness, on the exhale, you can simply sigh out a sound like ah. Maybe you're breathing in the word mystery, and that feels a bit daunting and unnerving. And maybe on the exhalation, you can breathe out a reminder I'm okay. I'm not weightless. I'm not untethered. I'm anchored and okay. I can explore the vastness of mystery. I'm the earth and I'm not going anywhere. Let's take a few moments of silence and just create this breathing mantra, breathing in whatever's coming alive for you and breathing out a resonance that feels true. Make this your own. You get to decide. You have that wisdom. You have that agency. You are worthy beyond the beyond to create this practice for yourself. Enjoy your practice and this beautiful exploration of air. Friends, I'd like to insert a little voice of gentle encouragement. Should your mind wander away from the practice, which it will, see if you can invite a smile when you notice, oh, there I go again. I was just thinking about my grocery list. Whoops, there I go again, wondering about whether or not I have enough sticky bows for my Christmas decorations. Whoopsie daisy. There I go, focusing on my stomach and wondering what I'm going to eat later on, and so on. This is just a very natural human thing that happens as we're learning to quiet the mind, as we have these moments of interruption and disruption. And so, what we're here to do, using the element of air, is to remember that this is a friendly companion. This is a life giving companion. And so, rather than treat ourselves with any kind of harshness or judgment, we simply, with a friendly, gentle hand, say, oh, there I go. I'm going to come back. Whoops, there I go again. I'm going to come back. And if we have to do this every other time, well, that's our practice today, and we can invite it to be perfect. And I mean it. Invite your practice exactly as it is to be perfect. See where that takes you. Enjoy. Friends, as we take a step toward the conclusion of this meditation, I'd like to invite you into a practice that you can take with you anywhere you go in your day. And it's called breathing thresholds. And how it works is whenever you enter into someplace new, like you're about to walk into a store, for example, just take a single conscious breath, breathing in, breathing out. It's a gift, really, that you have full agency over. And it's a way of slowing down the body, slowing down the mind, opening up the heart, bringing a little bit of ease to the nervous system, and so forth. And I find it incredibly helpful, particularly when I'm crossing over into a threshold that I know is going to be a little bit overstimulating and stressful. I just take an intentional moment of empowerment to breathe. You can also do this in your own home. You can assign a space that's your pausing space, it's your threshold space. And it's every time you enter into it, you take a breath. That space for me in my home is my art studio. I don't go in there every single day, but when I do go in there, I intentionally, as I'm walking over that threshold from the normal, everyday, busy, distracted life that I have, and I go into the sanctuary of my studio, I take a deep, intentional breath. It's a pausing moment. It's an awakening moment. It's a moment to activate my awareness. I'm not an automaton. I'm a living, breathing human being that is connected to all of life since beginningless time. The water in the earth has always existed. A gift from the universe in the form of frozen asteroids bombarding this planet as it was evolving, leaving these traces of H2O, hydrogens and oxygens, for all the right conditions to come together, to breed life that couldn't even yet breathe because the air was too toxic. And over time and over evolution and all kinds of rebirth, the air was detoxified. And here we are, billions and billions and billions of years later. Amazing. And that awareness really does help shake me out of my habituated mind, my conditioned, petty, little self mind. And it opens me up to the interconnection and interbeing of all life, of which I am a small, necessary piece. And so are you. Your presence here adds to the heartbeat and song of life. You are sacred in every way. Our practice today with a dedication of merit. I really love in the Buddhist tradition that we begin an exploration of the Dharma, the wisdom of the Buddha in community, the Sangha, these three precious jewels, with an intention. What is our motivation for being here today? And today, our intention was to recognize that our worth is something we can decide. May my worth be as I decide. And then we end the practice with a dedication to recognize that anytime we come into the presence of the precious three jewels, we generate merit, goodness, kindness, vastness, curiosity, virtues that are absolutely conducive in changing our life and shifting our relationship to negative habit energy, whatever that habit energy is. And so we take a moment to identify it. And earlier today, we heard a very wonderful list of virtues associated with worth, often recited in more traditional programs, and I really love it. I am worthy of, what was the first one? Love,
honor, trust, dignity, and respect.
Love, honor, trust, dignity, and respect. I am worthy of those things. And what I love about that invitation is, for me, what comes alive when I think about that is an external source. I am worthy of something outside of me that is going to give me love, honor, trust, dignity, and respect. And that's true. And the truth is that it's also an invitation to express this worth, my worth, in all the ways that I can be loving, in all the ways that I can be honorable, in all the ways that I can be trusting and trustworthy, in all the ways that I am dignified and noble, in all the ways that I'm respectful. So it goes both ways, friends. What we receive in worth, we get to give in worth. And we can only get there if we practice. So we dedicate this practice by sharing our love, our honor, our trust, our dignity, and our respect to ourselves and by extension to one another. May this merit find anyone and everyone who is lost and wayward for all the reasons that people get lost and wayward. May this merit find anyone who has lost their freedom and is in jail or prison, people who have lost their agency and freedom in their own body due to illness, injury, age, confusion. May this merit find anybody who has lost their home and belongings, their sense of security and protection. May the merit of this practice enter you fully and radiate out completely in a world so desperate to have your warmth, your affection, your compassion. Have a beautiful day, friends. We'll see you next time. Namaste.